What happens when a long-reigning giant looks in the mirror and spots the crown sliding? Red Bull Racing just picked the route that gives engineers ulcers and finance teams migraines. Push everything into 2025, upgrades, bandwidth, political chips, even if that dents 2026 prep. Yes, the big regulation reset. Yes, the window most rivals are already optimizing for, so why go all out now? And how could a move this daring and risky be logically sound? If this sounds like a stock tip video, breathe. The only thing dipping here is his aerodynamic testing time. Right, lights out. To decode Red Bull's math, start with the turbulence. In July, the only team principal the outfit had ever known, Christian Horner, was out. Laurent Mekies stepped in. Since then, Max Verstappen's form has snapped back. Wins, podiums, and a trimmed points gap to championship leader Oscar Piastri. The bounce is tangible and it's recent. Momentum, though, burns budget and tenths cost millions. Red Bull has kept rolling out meaningful parts, Monza floor, fresh front wing concept at Singapore, while others are pivoting hard to 2026. Even team insiders caution the push is a tightrope that can nibble into the clean sheet car. Red Bull's bet. The upside of stealing the 2025 crown late outweighs the downside of beginning 2026 a whisker behind. Audacious? Definitely. Illogical. Not if you zoom in on 3 stress points: story power, engineering yield, and star asset security. And that third one, star power, may be the real reason they have to swing now. The wager: why 2025 looms larger than you'd think. Narrative leverage: win today, shape tomorrow. F1 history isn't kind to teams that manage decline. Red Bull knows perception drives pipelines. Win in the now, and you maintain the aura that keeps elite hires and sponsors gravitating toward you. Since Mekies arrived, the messaging shifted from "we're searching" to "we've found direction," with Verstappen hinting at a fresh underlying approach behind the uptick. Every podium trims the gap and hardens belief on the pit wall and across Milton Keynes. Different philosophy? No, not a new beverage. It's the gap between a car that bounces over curbs like a pogo stick and one that actually follows driver input. Both Marco and Verstappen have referenced dialing out that hopping, understeer, leaning trait around Singapore. Engineering ROI. Correlation is gold. Here's the twist. Pouring effort into the RB21 now can speed learning for 2026. Mekies has been clear: if your tunnel args CFD sim stack isn't well calibrated in a known environment, you'll magnify errors under new rules. You don't straighten your ruler while drafting a brand new blueprint. So Red Bull is stress testing the toolchain in public on the RB21, then forwarding those correlation lessons to the reset. Chief Engineer Paul Monaghan noted they squeezed in the Monza floor and a Singapore wing without fully undercutting 2026. Yet the tension is real. Every present-day hour is a future car hour you don't spend. It's a deliberate swap. What if that swap bites in 2026? Hold that thought. Star asset insurance. Keep Max locked in the Verstappen storyline lingered through summer. Performance clauses, rumoured exit routes, a possible shock move in the next cycle. The recent upturn effectively shut that door, with reliable reporting that performance triggers don't apply when you're consistently top 3. And his public commitment for 2026 quieted the noise. Winning now isn't just silverware, it's retaining the grid's sharpest weapon when the regs flip. Hit subscribe, pit lane, so you catch the paddock whispers before the Sunday debriefs. The tab. What Red Bull puts at risk. And why the math still works. Under the cost cap, 2025 development is boxed in. Nothing is free. Wind tunnel and CFD time are rationed by ATR rules, and a heavy upgrade cadence chews through that quota. Even with the prior penalty window done, the financial guardrails still bite. If Red Bull keeps adding parts almost every round, the bill lands in design hours, and in attention that could have gone to the next-gen car. Multiple well-sourced paddock notes point to a stream of late-season pieces, floor changes, wing families, underfloor refinements, aimed squarely at taming bumps and low-speed traits that hurt them earlier. Verstappen has been candid about those structural limits. The rebound suggests they've chipped away, not erased them. So what snaps if 2026 started tomorrow? Hidden hazards. Small head start loss for 2026. New Aero/PU rules shuffle the order. Even slight delays on core architecture, suspension, packaging, cooling can snowball into a year-long drag. Red Bull staff acknowledge the squeeze. Upgrades pay off now, but inevitably siphon effort from the blank sheet car. Leadership transition strain. Mekies has steadied the room, but continuity matters. Horner's departure was seismic. Bedding in new rhythms while running a dual-track program is a moonshot. Results since July suggest alignment, but sustaining that under overlapping deadlines is the real exam. Talent diffusion across the paddock. Adrian Newey's move to Aston Martin for 2025 was a warning light. Top thinkers circulate and rivals level up. Red Bull must lean on process excellence and the Verstappen effect. Drivers who can mask a 10th on Saturdays through execution. If you're tallying 10ths at home, same. Somewhere a strategist just fist bumped a spreadsheet. Why the gamble still nets out? Reason A, trophy equity. If Verstappen squeezes the gap to knife edge with 6 Grands Prix and 3 sprints remaining, you don't fold. The title math is alive and morale compounding is invaluable. Mekies has downplayed personal credit, but the numbers, wins, podium runs, closing deficit, talk. In this sport, a live championship shot is never surrendered. Reason B, portable gains. Getting your correlation right, making the tunnel read the same clock as the circuit, pays off no matter what the rulebook says. If your measurement chain is bulletproof in October, the 2026 platform starts from facts instead of wishful thinking. That's why Red Bull keeps poking the RB21 in live fire, rather than hiding exclusively in simulations. Reason C, the Verstappen cornerstone. Having Max committed through 2026 is literal lap time. Stability slashes the odds of a late start exit that would hollow out the project. The recent form upswing and the visible intent to scrap for this title quieted the clause chatter and recentered everything around their franchise driver. Reason D, mind games. Each small refinement. Red Bull bolts on forces competitors to hedge, divide focus between covering 2025 and building 2026. McLaren may still be the favourite, but sustained pressure breeds errors and sprint weekends hand you extra scoring shots to chip away at the margin. So, can Red Bull defend spending today's energy at tomorrow's expense? In F1, certainty is a myth. But if the championship is alive, your tools need calibrating and your generational driver is aligned. The logic adds up. If they land it, they hit 2026 tougher and wiser. If they don't, we may be reading the preface to a new ruler. Before we box, friendly pit wall nudge, tap subscribe crew, yep, you. 3 little words that feed the algorithm like late night pizza, fuels a garage during Parc Fermé. This is the razor's edge, evidence-led upgrades, leadership aftershocks, and a points gap shrinking week by week. Want the deeper dive? How Red Bull sequenced the Monza to Singapore aero tweaks, and what those choices telegraph about their 2026 blueprint. I'll keep tracking the deltas. You keep tracking the wins. See you in the next one.